everyone, what's going on? It's Josie. I literally am always filming in this same spot as of just currently. That's how it's going to be for a little while. Today I'm going to be speaking on something that was suggested to me, which was basically talking about my move to Florida. It is a story. So I moved to Florida with my boyfriend in the year 2021. It was shortly after, oh my god, these bangs are in my face. It was shortly after the passing of my mother, which was in 2020. We moved down here. We moved here for a lot of reasons, but a big one is that at the time in 2021, we were not in a good headspace. We were in a better headspace than 2020 for sure, but we were definitely not in a good headspace. So we just moved for something different and various reasons, but I'm not going to speak on all of them right now. So basically, fast forward to the day that we actually moved. I remember we were packing a whole bunch of things. It was me, my boyfriend, and my boyfriend's brother who had came to visit us. So basically we just decided to drive down to Florida from Brooklyn, which I was like, at first I was like, in my mind I was like, we're gonna drive all the way down there? Like, what? I don't know. I mean, I've driven there before. Not me personally, but I've driven down there before, but I was not expecting that. So I was like, wow, okay, we're really gonna drive down to Florida. Like, this is really happening. So the day up, we were just kind of packing our things and putting things into the moving truck, or I guess a moving truck, a U-Haul, you should call it. That is what it's called. My bad. So it's called a U-Haul. So we were moving things. I sat in the back seat and it was me and our dog in the middle. She was very whiny, and that was probably one of the most annoying parts. It's just that she was extremely whiny. So driving down here, I was just like, I don't know. I was looking out the window and I was like, okay, well, we're moving to Florida. This is it. We doing the thing. And when we were driving, it wasn't so much a bad drive at first. However, in the very beginning, I want to say maybe between like 20 minutes to an hour, maybe at maximum 2 hours driving down here, the tire had popped. So I was like, oh crap. And I think it was really only 20 minutes, but I don't know the exact time. But I was like, oh crap. You know, I kept it calm and cool and collected, because when you freak out and overly stress during, you know, stressful situations or anything like that, it just makes it worse. But I was like, oh crap. Like, the tire popped. I was thinking like, does this mean that we are not supposed to go down here? Like, I didn't say that out loud, but I was thinking like, holy moly, what the heck? But, so we got the tire fixed and, you know, we kept going. And eventually, unfortunately, my boyfriend and his brother had gotten into a fight while we were on the road trip. Now, that is probably one of the most stressful things I had to deal with, because, you know, I was dealing with the thoughts of just like, oh wow, I'm moving to a whole different new state. So I was going back and forth with that with myself, just, you know, processing everything. And then they got into a fight. It was just scary because I just didn't want anybody fighting. I don't like to fight. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. So I did not want anyone to fight. I wanted to vlog the whole way down. I was like, okay, this is gonna be awesome. Like, I'm gonna vlog my transfer from Brooklyn to Florida, and we're gonna have so much fun. It's gonna be a vibe. But unfortunately, they got into a fight, and they just really didn't speak. They didn't speak pretty much the whole ride down, which it was hard. I will say it was definitely hard. I felt like there was music playing that was like I felt like there was music playing that was basically kind of during that time directed to each other because they got into a fight. I feel like there was just songs playing. I was like, okay, you're mad, I'm gonna play this song. Okay, I'm mad too, I'm gonna play this song. Like, I don't know, what's the word, like a subliminal. I felt like that's what was going on, and I was like in the middle of it, and I'm like, wait, I'm moving to a whole different state with my man, and like that's kind of basically what happened on the way there. I think it took us about 2 days or so. Yeah, it took us about 2 days to get there. I think one thing that I did feel while I was down there, alongside from like, I mean, while we were driving there, alongside from dealing with the stress of like my boyfriend and his brother arguing, is just basically, I thought to myself like this is gonna be a big move, like, but I was like, okay, it's gonna be fine, I'm fine, like, not a big deal for me. But then I thought like, well, crap, like I feel like I'm leaving my mother. Like at the time she had already passed away, but I felt like I was leaving her because I grew up in Brooklyn my whole life, and that is where my mother passed away, that I felt like I was leaving her, kind of like, even though she passed away, like it was a feeling in me that I was like, wow, I'm leaving my mom. It feels wrong. Felt like, yeah, that's what I was going through. It's just I felt like it was wrong. But eventually, I got over it. My boyfriend and we got our first car. I got my license at like 27, I think. It's late, definitely, but down in Brooklyn, you don't really need a car. Like, you can take the subway, you can take the subway, you can walk anywhere, you could take the bus. Everything over there is like quick. You can just get it there, get it then, and walk everywhere. So you don't really need a car. So although I would say back in Brooklyn, I was practicing getting my license. However, I had a bad situation with my driving instructor in Brooklyn, which maybe I'll make a little video on that. So do I miss Brooklyn? If anybody is wondering, the answer is